Maybe. The whole thing gonna load? It's thinking. Ay. I think my computer did an update yesterday. It's been like this all morning. Well, let's start here, and then we'll go back to question number 1, assuming it ever loads. So meet me on slide 3, question 2. What could be the lengths of the slides? So we need to do small plus medium is bigger than large. It can't equal. So small plus medium has to be bigger than large. 6 plus 8 is bigger than 14. That's not true, so that's not the right answer. And then small plus medium, 9 plus 11 has to be bigger than 21. You got to make sure they're in the right order. So 9 plus 11 is 20. That's also not correct. And then small plus medium has to be bigger than large. 8.5 plus 10.6 is bigger than 17. I think that's our correct answer because 4.7 plus 4.7 is definitely not bigger than 14. So small plus medium is bigger than large. Okay, I think everybody got that one. This one is kind of a nightmare of a question, I'll be honest. You have to know a lot of things. So the first thing you need to know is vertical angles. So I've got 9, that should be a 92, 92. And then I need to know triangle sum. So this triangle, all of those angles should equal 180. So 180 minus 92 minus 50. Maybe somebody can beat me to the calculator punch. 180 minus 92 minus 50 is going to be 38. So this angle up here is going to be 38. Now the trick is to know which other angle is 38 and which other angle is 50. So if I look back up here, this is like our flashlight problem. The third thing I need to know is inscribed angles, right? Unless you're just a good guesser. So this 38 flashlight lights up ST. So that is going to be twice as big. The angle is small and the arc is big. So this arc is going to be 38 times 2, which is 76. I know that green is hard to see. If that's 76, probably making you guys dizzy, then this angle, the Q angle, also lights up, if it's a flashlight, this arc. So if the arc is 76, then the angle is 38. The pink angle and the green angle are exactly the same size because they have this same arc in common. So the answer is going to be 38. The most common wrong answer is 50. And if you think about parallel lines and trying to make that Z, you'll think that the 50 and the 38 are interior angles. They're not, because RS and QT are not parallel. Okay, so that's kind of the most common wrong answer is 50. You got to know a lot of stuff in order to get this, or you just got to be a really good guesser. Either way. So let's look at question number 4. This is what we're going to look at today. So if you get to a question on the SOL or on the district assessment and you're not quite sure how to do it because we haven't learned it, because there will be some of those, I promise, with this crazy pace we've had this year, just write down everything you know and see if you could make it make sense. A cell phone box is shaped in like a rectangular prism. So you will have access to a formula sheet. We can look at the formula sheet and find the rectangular prism. We're going to really look at this today. So volume is length times width. Surface area is 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. So let's go back to this. The height of the original box is increased by 3.5. Did I lose my... I lost it. Go. So if the height is increased by 3.5, I'm going to draw a new box over here. This is my height. So if it's increased by 3.5, that's 7.5. And I would encourage you to draw this either on paper or on your Pear Deck. So the new instruction manual and battery can be included. What is the closest to the total surface area of the new box? So this is still 18, and this is still 13.5. So if I do length and width and height, my equation was 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. Then it's just a substitution problem. The trick is translating this increased by 3.5 into the new height. So then it's just calculator, 2, 7.5, and 18 plus 2 times 7.5 times 13.5 plus 2 times 18 times 13.5, right? I need these two multiplied by 2, these two multiplied by 2, and these two multiplied by 2. When you do all of that in the calculator, and I'd like for you guys all to do that, 2 times 7.5 times 18 plus 2 times 7.5 times 13.5. Did anybody get an answer? I got D. Anybody confirm that?
Yeah.
Good. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about surface area and volume after like the last 30 minutes of class. Circle has a center at 2, 2 and a diameter of 10 units. So let me see if I can pull up Desmos. While that's loading, on the formula sheet, you will also have the equation of a circle. Okay. If you've done the IXLs, hopefully you've like firmed in your head that the center of the circle, HK, is the same numbers as the equation, but the opposite sign. So the center of your circle is the same numbers in your equation, but it's the opposite sign. And then the radius is always squared. So if I go back to my warm-up, I've got a circle center at -2, -2, and a diameter of 10. If I have a diameter of 10, that means I have a radius of 5. So if I go into my Desmo, I can do x not -2, but +2, plus y not -2, but +2. And then the radius is always squared. So if my diameter is 10, my radius is 5, and I need to square it. Okay. You can always check, do I have a radius of, or a center of -2, 2? Okay. My units here are, it's going from -2 to -4. So these are counting by halves. So that's a radius of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a diameter of 10. From -7 to +3 is 10 units on the number line. So I know I've done that correctly. So then I go back here, which point lies on the circle? So I need to write those down or split my screen, either way. Today I'm going to write them down. -6, -5, -2, -2. I can already eliminate B because that's my circle center. And then 6, 4, and 8, 8. Come back to your Desmo. I know it's not this one because that's the center, right? So answer choice B is not my correct one. -6, -5, that is on my circle. So that is on the edge. And then 6, 4 is out in space. And 8, 8. I don't even see 8, 8. It's like way out there. right? So the only one that works is that green one, -6, -5. There's a lot of things that you need to be able to do with this question. It's tough, right? The first thing you need to do is be able to write this equation. X plus 2 squared, because this is my x value, and it needs to have the same number but the opposite sign. And then y plus 2 squared, because this is my y value, and it needs to have the same number but the opposite sign. The radius is 5, so the end of my equation is 5 squared. That's the pattern that I was hoping that you guys were going to learn and really practice enough to remember in the IXL. That's the whole reason I asked you to do the IXLs. Okay, questions on that? That's definitely the toughest kind of circle equation question you would get, I think. All right. Volume of a cube is 64 cubic centimeters. There's no picture, so definitely draw a picture. Don't worry if you're not good at drawing a cube. That's okay. The volume equals 64 centimeters cubed, right? I would encourage you to draw this somewhere. We know that a square has sides that are all the same, so a cube has sides that are all the same. So if the equation for volume is length times width times height, and the length, the width, and the height are all the same, then can I just do s cubed equals 64? How do I undo a cube? Got to take the cube root. Okay, so let's see how to do that in Desmos. If I come over here and I erase all my stuff, we can go into, oh, where is my, sorry guys, I had to make it smaller. Oh, it's still not making it smaller. Just see my little tools at the bottom. Where are my tools at the bottom? There we go. My caramba. I think we want to go into functions. And you want this button right here. So under miscellaneous, this is where you're going to do cube root. You want to put in a 3 right there in the crook of the square root sign or of the radical, and then the 64 here. Okay, so that's not inherently obvious in Desmos. It's kind of a hard thing to find. So everybody go to somewhere where you have Desmos, open up that little keyboard in the bottom. You have your square root right here. It's super easy to find, but to get that cube root, which you may have to find, it's in miscellaneous. And you click on that little radical with the n in it, and then you put in the 3 inside the little crook right there. Okay? Kind of test taking. So the sides here are all going to be 4. And I made my writing tool go away, and now I can't find it. It is definitely a Friday, isn't it? I'm going to stop sharing for a second, and I'll come right back to it. Maybe it'll populate. Yeah, no, it's not going to.